Good morning. It is 10:48 a.m. and it is September the 4th of 2024. It is really September. Honey, we are officially in the last quarter of 2024. Like for real, what you doing? That is so cute. I love that for everybody. I love that for myself. I feel really proud that I've been able to kind of like push through because I've gone through a lot of stuff this year, last year, over the last handful of years, pretty much. I've gone through a lot of different things, but I was going through a lot of stuff before then, which is why I felt like there was a need to, really take a break, you know. I'll say since 2015, maybe 2015. That's when I started really going through some things. 2014, 2015. 2014 was actually nice. It was really good. Like life was getting good around all the way up from 2011 to 2014. It was getting good. And then 2015 came along and I moved out of my house. I had a lot going on. I think they ended up selling my house to, anyway, never mind. They sold my house. But anyway, I was renting, by the way. So I ended up just kind of like having to start over. I've had to start over a number of times. So when this situation happened in 2020, I took a break. I was like, no, like when everybody saw me crying all online and all that, I don't even know if that video circulated or not, but I meant everything I said in that video. I said that I was going to take a little break from social media. That was on Instagram because I was going through a lot. I was also being bullied behind the scenes as well. And I was just kind of like, I want to keep my peace. So that's why I said, if it was your intention to hurt me, you definitely succeeded in that because you hurt my feelings, But aside from all that, on some big girl stuff, it's more like I knew that I had already needed to take a break anyway for me because of what I was going through in my personal life. I think that year I had sent off well over 1,000 resumes. No bullshit, no exaggeration, no code talk, okay? Baby, she was seriously looking for employment and looking for, a new career move. And I had to literally, I had to find different ways to make money legally, and morally right as well. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do, some like background work and all that good stuff. I'm going to do I'm going to build a nonprofit. Let me lay the foundation for that. I just had a lot of different things that I was trying to do during that time. And I felt really good about the direction that I was going in addition to going to school and learning how to code and all that good stuff. I found my strength in the UX UI designing module. The coding, I didn't really like front end. I really liked back end. So I was like, okay, well, when we make our next life move, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pursue a little bit more information as far as back end development. And then we're also going to kind of lean more into our UX UI designing skills because it comes naturally to me seeing that I love graphic design. And I also love to like sketch things out and I like to know how things work. And so, there's a lot, there are a lot of different layers to who I am. And so, unless you're around me often, you won't really be able to say, well, oh yeah, I know, no, I know her. No, you'll never really be able to say that because I'm a person who's really to myself, and you just never know which me you're going to get based off of the experience that, I'm having at that time. No, it's not a mental disability. I'm so tired of people trying to say that. They're saying that because I'm honest and they don't they want to divert my honesty by making it seem as if there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong with me, sweet pea. I'm just honest. And there's nothing wrong with being honest. Now, I know how not to tell everything, okay? But if there's clarity that's needed, and if there's someone out there who has me misconstrued, or anything that I've done or said misconstrued, then more than likely I'm going to be the one to clarify it, okay? That's not a mental illness, baby. That means that you like to make sure that people don't really have you fucked up out here. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward, I did what I needed to do as far as like building the foundation for a nonprofit, and I was enjoying that. And basically, all it was, literally, you guys, while I was looking for a job and sending off my little resumes and stuff like that, all it was me picking up a whole bunch of free stuff wherever it may have been, making sure that I keep in touch with people who are kind of around different communities, and picking up stuff and transporting those things to people that I may have met that either need the resources, or people that I end up meeting that might need the resources. It's kind of like, I don't know, I meet a lady, say at the bus stop. I might pass a lady at the bus stop. She might have a baby or something, right? This is just hypothetically speaking. And so if I know that I've got a pack of, I don't know, like formula and stuff like that in my back trunk because I'm operating this nonprofit, and I just went and picked up some stuff for babies from a program across town, then more than likely I'm going to ask her, are you doing okay on such and such? And this is not to offend you or anything like that, or to even wrongfully assume anything. It's just, are you in a position where you might need some help? And if that person trusts me enough with the truth to say, yes, I could use some help, then I, would have nice bags in the back of my car, and I would put together a care package for that person and I would give it to them. So that was me just being me, doing my own thing, and trying to lay a foundation by building relationships with people and different organizations, local organizations that actually like to help people, so that I could actually, partake in that whole thing, just like allow my nonprofit to be another resource for them to reach out to should they, need someone who needs a ride to an appointment, or should there be a need for, I don't know, like I said, in that particular situation, maybe baby formula or something, or maybe somebody needed blankets or something, and I would have blankets in the back. Or there were plenty of times I would see somebody sleeping on the street and they didn't have any shoes on their feet, and I would size their shoes, size their feet real quick and say, I think I got something in my back trunk. Let me run that to you real quick, because you should not be out here with no shoes. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my personality, number one. It's something I'm very passionate about. And I don't know, it's how I operate, So while I was looking for a job, I wasn't successful in finding a job. And I didn't like that, and I was like, damn, I've got all this experience and I can't find a job, And so I was like, well, that's fine. I'm the type of person who, I'm not going to allow, just because one thing didn't work out, I'm not going to allow that to stop me from moving forward. Back in the day, our elders used to say, one monkey don't stop no show. And I agree with that. I have the same mentality. I just don't say it that way. It's just sometimes things are not happening for a reason, and you have to continue to move forward. Just because they're not happening, it doesn't mean that they won't happen. It just means that it's not time for it right now. And during that time in my life, I wasn't used to, you know, not working. I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to not working. I wasn't used to not having a place to live. I wasn't used to instability. I wasn't used to any of that. Neither was my family, and so it was very different for me, specifically of everybody, that anybody would know, like, whoa, hold on, Ty, she going through, because I'm always, always working. I'm always, earning my little money, putting it to the side, or, going to school, taking classes. If I can't finish the classes, it's usually because I got to stop going to school and go back to work because my bills and stuff done got to be too high or something that happened. It's tough when it's all you, it's just you know. So sometimes you have to learn how to put certain things on the back burner for a little while and pursue your dreams in different areas. And then when you're able to come back to some of those goals, you go back to them and you continue on that path and continue moving forward. So mainly, long story shorter, I gave it almost 3 years, you guys. I gave it almost 3 years in that mode. And what I ended up doing was I was in a program, like I said, for the coding and everything, but I didn't finish the program because there were too many. There were some personality conflicts that were going on, and I could see where people were trying to like kind of poke at me and badger me, and like I was just like, you know what, I'm not doing all this. It's not that deep. I'll go get my certification elsewhere. I know what my strengths are now. The program definitely served me in that sense where I was able to understand where I would flourish, and I did. And after that, I moved on to get 5 different certifications in UX and UI design. I've also studied real estate. I have all certifications in real estate. I do need to take the state exam, but I didn't really care to take the state exam. I really wanted just the knowledge, which that's kind of a toxic trait for me because I will really study some stuff and be like, oh no, I don't really want the degree. I just wanted to know like how to do it. Like, like, oh no, 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 we don't need, no, 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 I don't need that. I'm good. I'm good on that right there. No, you can keep your finals and shit. Keep all that. Keep all the tests and shit. No, no, no. Okay, I just wanted to know like how we get this done because I just need the knowledge. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I'm so I know a little bit about a lot of bit, as I say, or a lot of bit about a little bit in certain areas. So I know a lot about different things, but people downplay me because I don't have a degree in it or I don't have this or what qualifies you. And it's like, well, if you got to ask what qualifies me and you're not willing to just, be open minded and listen to what it is that I have to say about the subject matter, then maybe we shouldn't even be having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm one of those, it's like when I know that I know, but I know that you don't know that I know. I love those moments for all of us. I just say that and then I move on. And I keep my little, whatever it is that I do have, I just keep it to myself, because it's like, well, maybe it wasn't time for us to have that discussion. Maybe it wasn't meant for you to see that part of me. Matter of fact, maybe I need to hold that part of me back from you. I need to protect that part of me from you. And I'll let you go elsewhere and find that information. And I'll hold on to what I have here. See, I'm one of those people, so back to the story though. I decided, I'm gonna move on. I got my little certifications and everything. I'm not strong with coding, but I know I used to be a tech recruiter back in the day out in San Francisco, California. And I was like, all right, so this is what I'm gonna do, right? I'm going to find myself a team to help me build my app, but I want to fund it myself, seeing that nobody else will pour into it. I just want to fund it myself, right? So, and this is not, I'm not telling this story, and this is a generalized version of the story. I'm not telling this story for people who already know. So there's no need for people to say, we already know. I don't really care if you already know. This is for people who happen to find me one day, and they will. So just if you've already heard the story, then click off of the video or the audio and, find something else to do. There are plenty of things to do. The grocery store has a variation of teas that you can choose from. I mean, I believe at this point it's up to like almost like 200 now. Like you can find something to do, even if it's just going to smell the candles at Target, honey. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. Okay. So I took my certifications and I decided that I was going to, move forward. I wasn't able to find employment still, and I wasn't able to gain employment in that newfound career path, which I would have loved to. But of course, because I didn't have the work experience, it was a little difficult for me to find employment. So I had to, kind of get my portfolio and stuff together. That was the most important thing for me. So when I left because I didn't have a job and I couldn't find a job. And the housing options that we had were temporary housing solutions and they had expired. And I said, okay, well, you know what? Let's move on. Next chapter. You get what I'm saying? Next chapter. Let's see what else is going on. So I ended up leaving there and I came to a different space where I felt like I would be able to, not just get back to work and do my thing, but also be able to build my app, save my money, and do my thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I knew that I would be able to get my family back on track doing what it is that I do because I'm a visual merchandiser by trade and I have 20 plus years of experience in everything from retail corporate buying to analytics to visual merchandising on a corporate level to Lord have mercy, it's a lot. I've done a lot over the last 20 plus years, okay? And I've been separating from all of that slowly but surely as I've been trying to move into kind of what we would call, I guess, tech, right? But in trying to fund myself, I had to step back into my old career path, which I love, by the way. I never disliked what I did at all. I just knew that I had gotten to a point where I was ready to see what else I could do and also see what else was out there for me, which was wonderful because eventually I did grow as a designer and now I'm doing photography and I like it. I really, really like it for me. I've always loved photography. I've always loved just the creative aspect of developing things. Branding is a huge strength of mine. So for me, I came up in an advertising agency way back in the day where we built everything in house. So we were the photographers, we were the copywriters, we were the creative directors, we did our own editing, we educated our own staff. Like I came from that environment. So it wasn't necessarily a burden for me to, like say, oh, I have to build this from the ground up because it was what I'm used to, you know and even being a soloist or I think they use that in a different industry as well, but for me what that would mean is kind of like how we would define a solopreneur, someone who's an entrepreneur but they're always kind of like on their own with it. So even being like a solo act, honestly, it's like you have to build everything yourself. You have to do everything yourself. And sometimes you don't have the money, so you have to make it work. And sometimes you got to make your way back to work in order to make it work. And so that's been my story. So, you know, right now, I'm really, really grateful for my journey. But when I left and I got to my next chapter, I did exactly what I said I was going to do. Okay, I found my self employment. There was no 2 years unemployed when I got to where I was going. There was, okay, this girl has been unemployed long enough. It's almost like the Lord was like, okay, my child, you've had enough. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get you back on track. And immediately within like 2.5 weeks, same energy, throwing out my resumes, doing my thing. I had a good job. And so it was only part time, but once they saw my skill set, they had me in there. You know how they'll have you part time, but then they bring your ass in there for like 39.5 hours and shit. And I was here for every bit of it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. But unfortunately, I faced some setbacks there. Unfortunately, the community wasn't necessarily used to gals like me. You know what I mean? So just to be cute about it. So I faced a lot in the actual within the team. And then also, I didn't know that there was some other things that were going on around my place of employment that soon I found out about, and it was, quite dangerous to my health and to my safety. So once I realized that, I was like, okay, we got to figure this out because this is affecting my, my performance at work, and I want to make sure that I'm always showing up as my best self. So how do we figure this out? We tried and we tried again, and eventually I said, okay, this is not working. I'm going to transfer out. So they transferred me. I went to another location. I did the same thing there. It was wonderful. I enjoyed it. It was a different vibe, a little slower because the staff, they were a little older. I learned a lot, soaked up a lot of wisdom. Whenever I'm around people who are older than me, I'm soaking up all the wisdom. I don't want to talk to nobody that's my age or younger. No, you stay over there. This is a conversation that me and Paw is having. Me and me Ma, we over here and we chilling. Okay, we talking about knitting and we talking about some other stuff, some historical events. I'm trying to soak up some game over here. What do you need, little 20-year-old? Okay. What can we do for you? Okay. Because you interrupting us. Okay. But no, so and then later on I filter the information and then I give it to the 20-year-old, by the way. So it's not like I'm just completely, like pushing them out. It's just more so like, let me get this wisdom real quick. Let me see what's really going on over here, because it's not too often that we're around our elders. And if you ask me, I feel like we don't value our elders enough, you know, no matter how difficult some of them can be, you know, let them have it and value them and love them and cherish them anyway, you know? So anyway, after that, I realized that there were some other things that were going on, and I realized that it was just best for me to take a break from working for other people. I just knew it. I was just like, no, I see what's happening here. It's time for me to take a break. So I took a break. And then it just so happened that because I spoke about that situation, I believe that it contributed to me being blacklisted. But I can't say for sure, so I only can say what I think, because it's not a coincidence that I haven't really worked since then, right? And like I said, they weren't necessarily used to gals like me. Okay, so I said, you know what? I tell you what, that's okay. We're gonna build something. We're gonna figure it out. We'll find funding somehow. If I have to sell water on the street, and dollar by dollar, we're gonna get this vision off the ground. And slowly but surely, I realized that I didn't have the support of my community, here. Even though it's not my community, I'm not from this soil. I'm just a visitor. And I don't have a problem with saying that, and I don't need anyone to remind me of that, because I will be the first to tell someone, no, I'm not from here at all. Okay, this is my very first time, even walking these little streets here and seeing what's going on. I've never been out here in my life, right? So, anyway, like I said, I say all of that to say that that's why I feel grateful for where I'm at and what I'm doing right now and what I'm going through. Some people, they look at my situation, they don't know what's going on internally. They don't know that I'm literally building slowly but surely. But I am facing a lot of blockages. Every step I take, it's almost like a shadow person just right there trying to create blockages for me. So it is going to look like I'm not productive. It's going to look like I'm not fruitful. It's going to look that way. But hopefully, it won't be that way, because I don't deserve that. And I know that I've put in a lot of work over the years. And I know that I don't deserve to be deprived of opportunities. I don't deserve to be deprived of happiness. And I know that if I put in the work, I shouldn't have to worry about people interfering with my journey to ownership. Okay. I have set up several businesses in the past. I've probably had, oh my gosh, I don't know. We'll say, let's, you know what? We'll say between five and eight businesses that I've owned over the years that I have faced so many blockages trying to build and execute. And I am a very creative person, and I'm also a good person to the core. So, and people are trying to downplay that, I noticed, because I've had to bring some clarity to a few situations where people were trying to slander me and downplay me. And so people have been trying to downplay me and speak down on my name and throw really bad labels on me while they're stealing my information, and putting it out there to people that should not have it. Okay. So there's obviously a situation where somebody somewhere is trying to manipulate how people see me. And I'm not sure if it's because of what I'm capable of, or if it's because of what I've already been able to build in the past, or if it's just because people just don't want me in the way. They feel like I'm in the way. I'm not sure, but I know one thing. I know I'm a child of the Most High. I know I've done everything I can to live my life right. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But I've done everything that I could to live my life right. And I've put the work in, and I've taken the stairs when everybody else got picked up by propellers and helicopters and shit. I was the one taking the stairs with a baby on my hip. Okay. So I'm not giving up that easily, because now it seems like the people who were propelled and got the easy way out or up or whatever, it seems as if everybody's cheering on the fact that I'm not able to get to that point. And instead of supporting me and saying, we see you, we understand that you've been going through this and so forth, and you have our support. Instead of that, I get all kinds of mess being thrown at me. Okay. And this is not a sign of weakness because I'm speaking my truth. It's a sign that we need to change how we treat one another and stop devaluing women like me just because we don't have the degree. Stop devaluing us because of how we're forced to live. Stop devaluing us because of the men who lied to us. We didn't choose the liar. Stop judging us based off of that. So moving forward, you guys, back to the more positive side, all right? I'm grateful for where I am at this point in my life, and I'm confident that I'm getting ready to move into a different space that's more fitting for me and my family. I have been speaking life over me and my family, especially as of late, because there just seems to be so much negative energy being thrown at us. And I'm not understanding why, but I'm going to do my best, you guys. All right. And like I said, this is not for those who listen to my content. They find me, they listen to my content, and they don't care. And we don't care what you're going through. Who cares? Whatever. That is completely fine. Don't care. Sit in a whole pool of not giving a shitness. I don't care that you don't care. But I do know that my story is a strong one. And I know that my story should be told. but there's a way that it can be told. And it's going to be told because it deserves that. And I deserve to be the one to tell it. Now, with all due respect to the superiors out there, because you put yourself in that position, I don't know you, but I have to respect where you placed yourself. It's not okay to try to erase people just because you don't like them, because there's value in people who don't strive for popularity and riches and all that. There are some of us who are close to the soil, but we ain't dirty, baby. You guys have a good day, all right? I'll talk to you later.